Dianne Biritjalawuy. Thank you everybody for the opportunity to speak to you about my Yolngu world, our culture, and culture. First, let me explain the meaning of the Yolngu, the word Yolngu. The word Yolngu means human being. Yeah. So when we talk about ourselves as Yolngu, we're talking about our humanness, our identity, what makes who we are. And it might surprise you, but the first thing I think about as to what makes up our humanness and identity is structure. It is structure within our culture which gives me a defined role and purpose. And that also gives me security, comfort, and protection. Some people see Aboriginal culture as freedom from all law and rules. This could not be further from the truth. Anarchy and primitive lawlessness has no place in Yolngu society. The general understanding of lawlessness within Aboriginal culture is a figment of mainstream Australian imagination. Sadly, though the effects of that understanding is creating a state of lawlessness, sadly, though the effects of that understanding is creating a state of lawlessness. But these elements of lawlessness are not part of our traditional Yolngu culture. This structure in our life is built on foundation set at the creation, which we call the Jalkuri. Jalkuri foundation. The beginning or the foundation of time. This was when the first human Yolngu footprints were made on our lands. It is also the time when our law was given to us by the ancestral beings. These ancestral beings were the two Jankau sisters, who were the Dua female creators, and the Brahma, a male figure, who is Yirija. They came and created and taught us all we needed to know. These creators were sent by Wangara, the great creator spirit. Wangara is like a god. We don't know, an unseen God, unseen Wangara. Đi vài mình mày quân man. Đi vài mình mày. Unknown, unseen, Wangara, a creator of the universe. Because of this, we know the ways of these creators were good for us and the world around us. The gift of life is given to us by Wangara, the creator spirit, great creator spirit. So we can be a blessing back to Wangara and to others around us. But let me explain some of this structure, which many call culture, without really knowing what it is. In truth, to do justice, what it is. In truth, to do justice to this structure, we would have to talk for a very long time. maybe even more, many years. So let me just show you some of it. Our world is made up of two halves, Tua Irija, as Uncle Orman mentioned, Nabibian. Tua Irija. They are called moieties. Everything is either Dua or Irija. That is, Yurma people themselves are either Dua or Irija. The clans and the clan estates. The clans and the nation. So, right now, clan estates. The clan estates we live on, and our languages. Adua or Irija. I forgot to tell it's International Women's, International Mothers Language Day. And the Dua or Irija. Dua or Irija also covers all the animals and plants on the land and the fish in the sea. Everything in the whole cosmos is either Dua or Irija. We even have Dua and Irija compass and wind directions and sunsets. And as we move across our estates, we move from Dua to Irija, Irija to Dua, as we cross different land boundaries. Nation clans are all divided into either Dua and Irija. All clans also own different songlines, and the songlines the men are singing while the women are lamenting are either Dua or Irija. Dua and Irija is an interrelated structure. It is like a template that fits over all elements of our life. Then there is another interrelated structure that melts into the Dua and Irija structure. And that is the Kuruto kinship relationship structure. Kuruto is divided by Dua and Irija. I am Dua, your woman, and I follow my father's Dua line. When I look back at my mother's line, I see different Irija and Dua people right back to my great-great-grandmother. This Dua or Irija pattern is over all our relationships, as mentioned. It is over everything. So my whole life and existence has a predetermined structure which gives me courage and makes me feel strong and safe. I have a place. I belong somewhere. I fit into a human society, which is taught, which is my taught and lived experience. Within this human society, I am connected to everyone and everything around me, from the plants, the animals, the land, the sea, and the stars above me. From when I was a young child, I have learned the roles and responsibilities to live within this structured human society. In relationship terms, for some people, I am their mother, whether I'm really their mother or not. So many will call me mother, and I will call them Watpo, child. This is the relationship we relate to each other through. They will treat me with the same respect and courtesy they afford to their real mother, and I will look after them as I would my own children if I had to. To others, I am their sister, their grandchild, their wife, or to others, I am their grandmother. Again, this is according to the relationship structure. Some will be my full sisters by birth, others are my sisters according to the relationship structure. We have many other relationship terms that do not exist in English. Like for some people, I am Doi, which we would call in English husband. So you may ask, how can I, as a woman, be a husband? Well, these terms are relationship terms, and both my brother and I call the same relationship terms. So my brother can also be called wife by some people. Though this may be confusing to many, it's more important to see these roles as defining our responsibilities in relation to those other people. This system covers all Yolngu people across Northeast Annamland. So even people that I have not yet met, I still have a relationship to them. These Kuroto relationship roles and the responsibilities not only cover the people I am related to, but also cover the hierarchical estates that the same relationship terms are applied to. This is my Mari, grandmother's people, on my mother's side. That is my Mari, grandmother's people on my mother's side are my Mari, and also their lands and clan are called my Mari lands and clan. Each one of these relationships afford a special relationship, powers and responsibilities between me and the other party. For example, as a child, I have responsibility to not only my mother's people, who are Waramri, Old Man and Edwin's clan, but also to my mother's people's land, their law and ceremonies. This means that I am a caretaker for their lands and their business issues, like a manager. I'm a manager and also a caretaker for all the animals and other resources on my mother's estate. I'm also responsible to make sure most of the work is done for my mother's people. This is called a Yoti relationship that many people know about it. My mother's people are the Indi, the big people in my life. And I am the Yoto, child, who is born from them. From birth, I was taught about this and all the other relationships. Another relationship that I learned from birth is the Mari Gutara, grandmother-grandchild relationship. on my mother's side. As a grandchild, in the relationship, I am responsible to care for my grandmother and all the other Yolngu in that relationship when they are sick. For example, if a person, male or female, in a grandmother's relationship, needs to go to a hospital, it will be a Guttara, grandchild, from 3 clans across, who will be their escort, not a member from their own immediate family. It is also the role as a grandchild to check due process in relation to issues of the law relating to grandmother and my grandmother's clan on my mother's side. This is special so in relation to all their legal interests. My Mari, grandmother, also has very strong legal responsibilities and power to intervene into my life if my life is in danger. Some people call this the grandmother's law. This is my grandmother. That is my grandmother on my mother's side. And her brother and members of their clan in the same relationship can step in on matters of domestic disputes or other dangers come my way. This oversight, care and responsibilities is there from when I was a small child till the end of my life. So as a child, I am cared for and protected by my own clan, my grandmother's and mother's people on one side, while on the other side, there is a Yoto clan. The children born to the woman from our clan, and people in a grandchild-Woloto relationship to me. Five separate Yolngu clans have responsibility of care to me as a Yolngu child and as an adult. And nobody can dispute their different authority, rights, and responsibilities to me as a child and as I grow up. The same authority and responsibility is there throughout my whole life. This system of responsibility and care covers all our relationships. From the people, the land, even the conservation of animals, plants, fish, and the birds. It is the system of law which teaches respect and honor and stops people jumping in where they have no rights. This culture I'm talking about is one of the original Australian culture. Yet sadly, not many Australians, including government, understand it. And because most Australians are ignorant of it, many things that are done today undermine it and even destroy it. All our law comes together in what we call the Marain system of law. Marain is a complete system of law. This system of law was gifted to us by Wangara. the great creator spirit. It spells out the authority in the relationship structures above, and also who are the true owners of different assets across our clan estates, our Yiraka. It defines private and corporate rights and creates a state of Magaya. There are so many different words in Yungumata that are hard to explain in English, and Magaya is one of them. But we can use all these English words to try and explain it. Whatever peace, tranquility, harmony, completeness, health, wholeness, prosperity, rest, safety, absence of agitation or trouble, by protection for all. The state of Magaya is created by the marine system of law. Sadly, again, not many mainstream Australians understand much about the original Australian system of law. Our marine system of law, and so again, many of the interventions applied against our communities by the mainstream Australian governments turn out counterproductive as they work against this original Australian law system. It would be good if we pass a situation where we just see Euro culture as just culture rather than systems of protection, nurture and care. A system of nurturing and caring that covers the lands, the animals, the plants on those lands and the fish in the seas. A system that is true system of law that can bring peace and prosperity to your communities and to Australia as a whole. Our culture is a system of law structure that is as old as the Australia continent itself.